welcome. In today's video, I'm going to talk about 10 best free sources to learn Python programming. Python software is free, which means we can download and install latest version of Python, including Python interpreter and an IDE for free for any operating system. Now you might be wondering, learning Python should be free as well, and it is. So in this video, I will share some of the websites, free tutorials, and portals where you can learn Python for free. And by free, I mean these resources are absolutely free. You don't need to pay a single penny, and there's no credit card or payment needed at all. All you need is your time, desire, and dedication to learn the most popular programming language. So let's explore some of these free resources that will save you from spending tons of money to learn something that's available for free. Before we move on, hit the like button if you like the concept of saving money. Also hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you don't miss a single video in future. The first one we are going to talk about is official documentation Python tutorial. For that you have to open up your browser and go to python.org. Once you land on the landing page, under documentation, you will see a tutorial link, and when you click that, bam, that's your Python tutorial for free, and this is official documentation. With a brief introduction, they introduce a glossary of items, and you can click on each of the topics that you are most interested in to learn about those, including numbers, strings, list, or other data types, control flow tools, if statements, for loop, or other built-in functions, break and continue, the match cases, data structures, including lists, modules. There's a section for input and output, errors and exceptions, as well as classes. So it's a vast area of introductory topics that you can dive into and learn. Talking about free tutorials available out there, there is no better place to learn a programming language than its official documentation given by the developers. All the courses mentioned later in this video or any others you will find on the internet are just a part of this course. So if you manage to complete this course, then automatically you have completed all the courses, because this is the mother of all the tutorials and it is free. The next thing we are going to talk about is official beginner's guide to Python. For that, you have to go back to documentation page on python.org and scroll down to beginner's guide link. Once you open that, it gives a host of information here, starting from, if you're new to Python, an overview for Python, how to install Python, and then for beginners, programmers, and non-programmers alike, different tutorial links for learning Python. It also offers third-party websites that offer online compilers to practice coding. And if you scroll down, there's help links and different pages for beginner's guide, quizzes and exercises, and other resources. There are many resources and tools that you can find on the internet to self-train in Python programming. I've put together a list of best websites that you can use to learn Python. I will also put the links to each of these in the description down below, so be sure to check them at your will. Let's take a look at some of these. The first one I want to talk about is W3 School. It has tutorial for other programming languages, but we are interested in Python. So on the left side, you will see all the links to different sections of tutorials, and in the middle, it will give you the details of the tutorial sections that you have selected. Nice thing about it is it has an online compiler that you can use to run your test software that you have developed. Another Python tutorial website that I personally like is RealPython. At RealPython, you can learn all things Python from ground up, everything from absolute basic of Python to web development and web scraping to visualization and beyond. What I like about this website is that you can subscribe to daily short and sweet Python tips and tricks emails that you can unsubscribe to anytime if you want. Another website I like is Programiz. Like W3 School, it has many other languages, but we are again interested in Python. And if you go to learn Python programming under there, you see different page indexes, and each section has different tutorials. If you go under courses, you can see different courses, and eventually that leads to a professional certificate. Now personally, I haven't done the certification on this, so I don't know how good that is. You can also see compiler that runs a little faster than the W3 School, so I highly recommend using or getting used to this website. If you didn't know, Google also has excellent set of Python tutorials for beginners known as Google's Python class. On the left, you see different links and links to videos that point you to YouTube. They also support Python Professional Certificate hosted on Coursera website that you can enroll for free. I also want to mention some of the few other free resources that you can use. There's LeetCode with another online compiler, but you need to sign in. There's also DataCamp that also lets you free course. Microsoft has their own Python for beginner tutorial that lasts for about 4 hours. Similarly, Coursera has University of Michigan provided content. There's Udacity, there's a host of other websites that you can just Google and find, like Khan Academy. Believe it or not, if you are a beginner and you're stuck in some programs that you're developing, chances are that somebody else has already solved your problem. Visit a social network website such as Facebook or Stack Overflow and join a community, and all you have to do is search Python or a particular topic in Python and you will see the groups. You can join them. I'm showing you the example here on Facebook, and there once you search Python, there's just a bunch of tons of community groups that you can join, and you can select based on your skill and help that you need. Or you can also join if you want to help others and at the same time develop your own skills. Once you join a community, it shows that you've joined. All the blue ones are the ones that I've joined. I can just click on the new one and join the community. Whether it's Facebook or some other website, it's the same idea. You just search for the right community that you are interested in and just join the community and help each others out. If you have made this far in my video, you already know that YouTube is an excellent source to learn Python. All you have to do is filter the contents by Python or Python programming, and you will get a host of contents from different producers or content creators. You can also do Python for beginners if you are at the beginner level, and you will see a bunch of stuff. The one I really like is Programming by Moss, CZ Dozo. There are also other programmers. Tech with Tim and Neural Line are excellent examples. GitHub is a provider of internet hosting for software development and version control using Git. It offers the distributed version control and source code management functionality, plus other additional features. To create content, you need to sign up, but to access content from others, all you have to do is search. In this case, search Python, and you will end up with 2.5 million repository results. Now you scroll down and you can see if anything is of interest to you. Otherwise, you can further filter down or narrow down the search with additional search terms. In this case, I'm doing tech and Python, and my search is narrowed down to a few thousands of results. In this case, 4,500. You can also access python.py file in GitHub and see how other people are writing their codes. Talking about free resources, we have to talk about Pydroid, which is a minimalist Python 3 interpreter that lets you execute minor projects and do minimal coding on your Android devices. This is an excellent resource for those who cannot afford a desktop or a laptop to install interpreter on, or if you are interested in learning and executing Python files on the go. I've already shown you a couple of code editors or online compilers, W3 School and Programmist, but next I'm going to show you Colab and Jupyter Notebook. Colab or Collaboratory allows you to write and execute Python on your browser with zero configuration required, access to GPU free of charge, and easy sharing. Whether you're a student or data scientist or an AI researcher, Colab can make your work easier. It's easy to create new files. Just click on the plus code button and you start typing your program or Python script. As soon as you're done, you can hit the run button and it will show you the output or execute the script. The RAM and disk are the resources that are dynamically allocated based on the scripts that you have written. The buttons on the top left, you can play around with them. They are similar to the Jupyter Notebook, which is what we are going to talk about next. Jupyter Notebook is a web application for creating and sharing computational documents. It offers simple, streamlined, document-centric experience. Jupyter supports over 40 programming languages, including Python. The notebook can be shared with others using emails, Dropbox, GitHub, and Jupyter Notebook Viewer. Your code can produce rich interactive output HTMLs, images, videos, and custom MIME types. The interface is very similar to Google Colab. On the intro page, you see some example codes and introduction on what the Jupyter Lab and Jupyter Notebook does. Similar to Google Colab, all you have to do is hit the plus button to start writing your code. Every block of code can be executed separately. When you hit the run button, it will execute and show the output. It is a bit slower than Google Colab's. The controls on the top right are similar to that in the Google Colab. You can delete, move the codes up and down, or insert cell or block of cell anywhere in between. Nowadays, there is mobile app for everything, and Python is not different. We've already shown you Pydroid that lets you execute minimal coding on your Android device. Next, we're going to show you other Python applications, for example, Python Coding Challenge. Python Challenge app is a quiz app for users who would like to learn and test their Python program knowledge. The app has two main modes, the challenge mode and a practice mode. There seems to be some problem with this app lately. The users are complaining about the answers disappearing too quickly, or that the results are not being held on the screen long enough for the users. You can go ahead and definitely test this out and see if they have fixed the problem and learn Python programming. If you don't want to use the app and instead use just the browser, you can just Google Python program quiz and it will pop up. You can go to any websites, but I'm going to show you pythonchallenge.com. And another portal here. They're basically similar. You can also go to pythonprinciples.com and /challenges, and there you can see different challenges for different difficulty level and the status, whether they are solved or unsolved. You can click on any one of them and you see the challenge question on the left and the code you can test on the right with the output at the bottom. Many of the beginners, when learning Python programming, don't realize that there's a certification program for Python. Or even if they know that certification exists, they don't know that the website that provides certification also provides free tutorial for beginners or advanced level as well. All you have to do is get a free username signed up, then log in. And once you're logged in, you can see the dashboard. If you have a tutorial in progress, you can resume the tutorial from the location that you last exited. Otherwise, you can just begin your tutorial session. It also has an online console where you can write your code and see the output while you're learning. It is a user-friendly and mobile-friendly version. On the left side, you have tutorial sections that you can navigate to, which minimizes once you click on one of the sections. On the left panel, you have tutorial documentations, and on the right, you can write your code and test. There are several modules, 4 to be exact, and each module has quiz and test that you can test yourself against. And at the end, there's a summary test. After that, it recommends you to do PCEP certification exam, which I believe is around $70. That is all I have for this video. Just to summarize, in this video we talked about 10 free sources to learn Python, including official document, beginner's guide, some third-party websites, social network communities, YouTube, GitHub, some Android app, Google Colab or Jupyter Notebook, as well as Python certification course that is available for free. I hope you learned something today. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also hit the bell icon so that you don't miss new contents like this in future. With that, thank you very much.